Snitchuation that hustle. Big shout out to my nigga SPI, Spotter Low. You know I'm in the black box, had to come through, tap in, show love one time. Yeah, y'all make sure y'all subscribe. Stay tuned. All that.
Point blank, through no subliminal dissing. When I listen, I can tell you never been on no mission. Sticking to the script, don't care if I offend you. Neighborhood crib, the marathon
I overlook my competition, never seeing them. I done trained my mind that I'm going. You could tell by how I walk, talk, I'm a boss. A east side millionaire, homie, what you thought? My life is a movie. They can't get close to me. They mad cause they can't be. I'm everything that they wanna be, yeah. Ooh, yeah. The life we living now is all about the money. So what you gonna do when you ain't got no money? Your foreign cars and all the bitches, they gon' leave you. Only thing you really have.
I got a clip about the T.I. situation I want you to tap into, and I just want to put you on the spot and get your feedback. He said on the stand on behalf of the prosecution. Murder trial.
Oh, that's his body.
Uh-oh.
And 34A.
Yeah, that's the entry wound.
That's evidence.
And that's a picture of FEELINZ with the bullet hole in his head?
Yes, it is.
And that's the bullet hole that you described to the jury as being in his temple on the left side?
Yeah.
How did FEELINZ's family find out about his death?
I told him. I called his mom first, then I told his cousin. I told his little girl.
How old was his little girl?
His daughter was 4 years old at the time. Five years old at the time.
And how did you tell his daughter that her father was dead?
He's in a better place and he won't be coming back. And I told him how much he loved her.
He lied to everybody but the lawyer.
And how did you tell his mom that her son was gone?
Well, first I apologized.
For what?
I apologized because, you know, I felt that, you know, all of those rounds were fired for me, you know, in my opinion.
He had an altercation.
So I apologized to her at first, and then I told her what happened to the best of my knowledge, and I told, you know, I didn't get to really say much after that.
So he told the murder victim's mother that they were shooting at me based on what just happened at the club. Then he got on the stand and told that in court. I mean, like, beyond everything else that he said, I don't understand how that's not obvious. He said T.I. sat on the stand, Clifford Harris sat on the stand for 45 minutes almost, and that was just 1 minute of what he said, bro. Mm-hmm. How much more is you need to hear to realize he was in court incriminating the fucking defendant?
Mm-hmm.
I think when we discuss these subjects, we challenge with the fact that the audience is the internet, YouTube.
Yeah.
And they're not cut. They're not cut.
Sure.
Yeah, they're not cut
for
from
sure.
Yeah. And he's relying on the comments being able to support him because there's more civilians and people not cut from the cloth of the culture than there are that are there.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. That's tricky, bro. I mean, because now you're talking about, is there a difference between T.I., the image, and Clifford, the civilian, the man, you know what I'm saying?
There's
the artist, the T.I., you see what I'm saying?
The only reason he's held accountable is because he could have done what he did, came out and said, I did that. However, instead of that, he did all that, came out, started doing interviews and saying, I stuck to the G code. Look how much of a detriment it is for someone to establish his T.I.
Yeah.
To go through what he went through. All his riches, his fame was being challenged. Guess what decision he made? Fuck this G code. Let me secure what matters.
Right.
Yet and still, he's telling the next generation that I stuck to the G code and I came through that adversity without getting a bunch of time.
Yeah.
Instead of telling the people that's watching him, hey, if you ever get caught with this, guess how I got out of it?
Right.
I kicked the G code out the window. Fuck that. I participated with the prosecution. And if you get faced with this type of problem, that's the best way to get out. He's telling them, I stuck to the G code.
So you saying but them his gun case in that case they didn't have nothing to do with that.
Oh, they most definitely did.
Really?
Yes. He caught a federal gun case as a federal parolee.
Right.
Which by prescription, he should do 7 years minimum for having one pistol.
Right.
Not.
So you're saying his participation in his homeboy's trial helped with that?
You asked the most appropriate questions. I appreciate it, because what actually happened was the prosecutor in the murder trial in Ohio of Hosea Thomas was attempting to take this trial this case to trial for a period of 2 years, and T.I. was attempting to stick to the G code. He wasn't participating, so the motherfucking prosecutor kept extending it, because the prosecutor did not want to go to trial without T.I. The prosecutor has this whole case in place minus T.I., and T.I. is trying to convince me and you, because we're contemporaries, and everybody is watching, I'm a G, I ain't fucking around. And then guess what happened? Bam! He got caught with all them burners.
Wow.
Now it's
I didn't
time.
know that.
Yes, now you do.
That.
Now it's time to nigga. This is why he won't never respond to anything I say on this subject directly, because these are the facts over how the fuck he feel about it and anybody else. So what happened was, while he was trying to maintain this allegiance to the G code that I've never read or heard about, he actually can quote articles in it. That's how corny he is. But he telling the world, I got out of this by sticking to the G code. However, that's not what he did.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that one case had to do with the other one.
Yes.
Okay.
The lawyer, I'm going to play one more clip for you, but I just want to make this very clear. The fucking prosecutor in the murder trial against Hosea Thomas in Ohio did everything they could to delay the trial in attempts to motivate and behoove T.I. to participate.
I see the play.
And it wasn't until he got pinched in that federal case that then the prosecutor in Ohio had some leveraging chips, bargaining chips. And listen to this clip, and it might help bring it all home.
Hey, what's happening, y'all? Some people call me Tip, but this is about another kind of tip that can help our mothers, our sisters, our brothers, and our fathers help get the perpetrators who commit crimes against them off the streets. All you got to do is call Crime Stoppers Atlanta. Tips can be anonymous, and there's even a reward. The number to Crime Stoppers Atlanta is 404-577-8477. That's 404-577-TIPS. Channel 2, community coverage.
So, telling the whole next generation that you got out of that situation sticking to the G code, how do you justify that?
I don't know, bro. Well, let me ask you, because
that's a live number.
Because Phil's case was a state case in Ohio. Yeah, his friend that got killed. Correct. It was a state case.
State, indeed.
Yeah, and so he caught a Fed case in Georgia.
Currently in Georgia. Fulton County is doing a collaboration with the Fulton County Police, the GBI. There's multiple law enforcement agencies corroborating right now.
But my question is him catching his case in Georgia, which is a Fed case, and then a state case in Ohio. I mean, they don't even, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Right?
Okay. Well, look, I can understand the math.
Yeah, you feel what I'm saying?
Look,
yeah.
So if we're going to just leave it that simple, a federal parolee gets caught with silencers and multiple.
Was he already on federal paper when he got caught with all the guns?
Indeed.
For what? He had a prior to that?
I don't want to speculate.
Okay.
I know this. When you charged with federal gun possession, one gun, 7 years.
Right.
Multiple machine guns plus silencers, multiple years.
Yeah, for sure.
He received a sentence of 1 year, 1 day.
Yeah.
At the time of him receiving that sentence, the announcement was the feds decided to give him an experimental sentence. Look it up. That's how they described it. It was experimental.
And what does that mean?
They hadn't done it before.
But what is experimental sentence? What is
that? Because of the fact that he was willing to participate in this state case, the federal authorities negotiated with the state authorities.
That's where I was asking.
That's exactly what happened. Do not allow you wanting to give him a benefit of the doubt to overlook how simply that can take place, even though those are separate institutions.
That's what I was saying. Exactly.
As high as his profile is, just think about this. I'm letting you know, I watched him testify with my eyes on YouTube multiple times for 45 minutes, the whole testimony.
Yeah.
And you can't find it today. He has effectively had it removed from the entire World Wide Web, where there's nothing more than a 1 minute and 30-second clip available. You don't know how to do that to any type of video footage that's available.
Right.
But that's what you're up against.
Yeah.
And someone who's comfortable, after I saw it with my own eyes, coming in front of the world saying, I didn't tell. He was on the prosecution team. There's only 2 teams in the courtroom. Prosecution, defense. He gave 45 minutes worth of testimony that helped to aid to a prosecution.
He did.
As articulated he is.
He did.
As articulated he is.
Yeah.
And I was talking to you earlier than this.
Yeah.
Just staying on subject matter.
Yeah.
The life we living now is all about the money. So what you gonna do when you ain't got no money? Them foreign cars and all them bitches, they gon' leave you. Only thing you really have is really you. Reality check. It's a reality check. Ooh, it's a reality check. It's a reality check.
Snitchuation that hustle. Big shout out to my nigga SPI, Spotter Low. You know I'm in the black box, had to come through, tap in, show love one time. Yeah, y'all make sure y'all subscribe. Stay tuned.
Point blank, through no subliminal dissing. When I listen, I could tell you never been on no mission. Sticking to the script, don't care if I offend you. Neighborhood crib, the
I
marathon
overlook my
continue.
competition, never seeing them. I done trained my mind that I'm going. You could tell by how I walk, talk, I'm a boss. A east side millionaire, homie, what you thought? My life is a movie. They can't get close to me. They mad cause they can't be. I'm everything that they wanna be, yeah.
Black Box Productions.